I have prepared this as your first module in training and hope that you find it enjoyable and look forward to using your new product. Let's begin by looking at the icon here for the researcher, which is our atlas and activities. When we go here, I've decided just to use your U.S. history for the basis of today's activities. So we're going to be focusing on today the United States History Atlas and looking specifically at the American Revolution. Let's take a look at the atlas. And the first thing we look at with the atlas is that you can share this atlas with your students. This is the only way your students will have access. You use the share button here and you share this with your classes. So if you have more than one class, you would select those classes with which you would like to share this atlas. That moves it over into this column and you click share, and that allows all of your students then to have access to the atlas. Now, if you're using something like Schoology or these types of things, you'll still need to have your classes created in Nystrom World in order to be able to share the resources such as this. Okay, so we click on classes, move our class over by clicking the arrow and share. Let's take a look again. We're going to go back to the atlas now, and let's investigate a little bit about the atlas. And as I said, we're going to use the American Revolution. I'm going to put in my page number right here, or I could have just flipped by using the arrows here. And I'm at page 2829. And as you can see, this is the start of the American Revolution and New Nation. Whenever you start a new era, this is era 3, you'll get a timeline that represents that particular period, and then you'll have the activities that are incorporated in that timeline below. Each activity has a 2-page spread. So we're going to begin here with the French Revolution, but I wanted to do American Revolution, or not French Revolution. I am so sorry. This is the French and Indian War, and I wanted to do American Revolution. So here I am, page over on how the Patriots fight the Revolutionary War. Just look at our atlas here for a moment. Is this not just engaging? Students across grade levels love our atlas, and they love it for so many reasons. It's engaging to the eye. For those students who are struggling learners or ELL students, what we do is we provide small amounts of text incorporated with lots of visual support so that the students really get that understanding of what is in the text. Look at this we've got here. You've got maps, you have a circle graph. Here we have like a line graph represented with soldiers. You have a picture. All of these atlas images are going to be very nice, colorful, intriguing to students, and really kind of brings their attention to the atlas. Okay, let's go back to our atlas page where we were a while ago. So we did the share button here, and then we just did the flip book part of the atlas here. Now let's look at the interactive activities. Now this is when you really want to have your students on their own computer. So let's click on interactive, and on our interactive page we have 11 pages of resources. And I want to look specifically for the American Revolution, so I'm entering that in my bar and clicking search, and here's what I got. I got this one activity that we were actually just looking at the pages of, and now I can view those pages or assign them to my students. Well, let's say that we want to look at them first. Let's take a look. So we have, there's that same image we saw earlier, but now a little bit different view of it. And we have, as the teacher, we have the answer key. So we have the answer key down here. But if we're modeling this for our students in class or even in an online environment, we don't want them to see all of this. So if we don't want them to see it, we're going to click hide answers. And before we click hide answers, I do want to draw your attention right here. There are 5 slides to this particular assignment. It begins at a DOK level 1 and moves to a DOK level 3. So let's go ahead and take a look at hiding answers. So when we hide our answers now as the teacher, I can actually demonstrate how this particular piece works where it is a drag and drop into the images below. So very engaging. Students really like the interactive portion of it, and the questions vary from type to type. Some are drag and drop, some are multiple choice. There are a variety of other types of activities where the students manipulate figures on the page. Now, we've looked at the other pieces here. We're going to look at our last portion of what we have available in the Atlas activities. These are downloadable activities. And when we download these, you're going to get like this compressed file where you see a table of contents. And you can see here's Era 3, tells you what pages they're on, etc. And then you can go to the file for the Revolutionary War, where we are looking at patriots fight the Revolutionary War, and you can print these out for students. I have a lot of teachers say that they use these as kind of like those bell ringer activities at the beginning of class because they're all on a DOK 1. They give the students just one portion at a time, like this first portion here about gathering facts one day, maybe links far and near the next day. Okay, so we've looked at the researcher. That's our atlases and activities. Now we're going to go to the Explorer. The Explorer is completely different from what you just saw. Very exciting and very interactive. Let's take a look. Again, staying with this idea of United States history and the American Revolution, we're going to use our Mapping United States History collection. And here we have outlined by era, the ones that are available for us. And we're going to go to Era 3 and look at this. Now, this is our list of the Era 3 activities. Though today we're focusing on the Revolutionary War, I wouldn't exclude the other pieces here. The close reading takes about 15 minutes, and it gives the students a good idea of kind of like what's going on in this section. And then after going through these variety of topics, you get to your quick writes, where the students get to have that quick write, then a quiz. And so we want to engage students in as many of these as possible. But for today, we're focusing on the Revolutionary War. When I open that activity, it looks quite busy because this is the teacher page with all of the activities already plotted on here. All of this happens, though, through this series of instructions over here, where you have 1 through 6 slides. The slides will tell the students what to do. The students will be using this toolbar on my bottom right, and as they complete each slide, they go to their next page. Again, if we want to hide the answers, though, so we can see what it looks when they begin, we can model this with them. So now I've got my clean slate, and I'm ready to go over here and do whatever is on my slide and move through those slides with the students. Okay, we have now gone over our researcher and our explorer activities. Now, what if we just wanted, though, instead of looking at them separately, what if we just wanted to look at them kind of all together? Well, let's click on this activity search button here. And this brings us to our activity search window. And you can see I've already put in American Revolution. And my American Revolution search is going to yield me those things that are related to that topic. And I'm just going to use this search button right here. And now look, all of my activities that come up under American Revolution. Now, what I've done here, this is really nice. Look, this is my Atlas activity. Remember we talked about the Atlas earlier? And then here's a mapping activity. These are in 2 different pieces, but when I come here to activities and do like a keyword search, I get all of them combined. Or I could have also used my advanced search and could have went in there and searched by American Revolution there. Okay, so 2 different ways to get at things. I really like this one because Sometimes I want to use the atlas. Sometimes I want to use a mapping activity. I don't want them separately. I like being able to search for them all together. So here's your first quest for today. I want you to replicate the searches that I just shared with you to find the topic that you're currently teaching, and let's see how many choices you can find. Click pause on your video now. Take a few minutes to go in and try the search features before returning. So hopefully you guys all found something you were looking for that would serve your students well. And maybe you're now saying, okay, I think I'm ready to go another step. I'm going to give you that second quest now. So your second quest is now to make an assignment. And I'm going to help you with that quest by directing you to where you're going to find your information. And then I want you to make that assignment, and I'll be presenting Module 2 to you not too far from now. So let's get started. To make an assignment, let's go here to our user guides and open that up, and we'll see that this user guide is going to tell us everything we need to know about Nystrom World. And you can see I've got my arrow pointed here towards creating assignments. And here's my page. This is how you create your assignment. The assignment title pops up automatically. And then you move through these various aspects here. I like to put in there my instructions to the students, especially if it's a reading. I write those directions in. Then when do you want this to be due? When do you want it to unlock? When do you want the students to be able to see it? What are you assigning? Are you assigning the entire activity or a portion of an activity? To whom are you assigning it? And then you click Save. So if you are ready for Quest 2, go to your help page and look up the user guide. And let's take that user guide and go to the part about creating activities and see what you come up with assigning something out to your students. So this is Module 1 of Nystrom World. I'm Pam Gothard, your Professional Learning Director, and I look forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions or comments about your quest, email me at pgothard@socialstudies.com. And I look forward to delivering another module to you in the near future. Have a great day.